morning. Today we are back on our Ducati. Yesterday we had been messing around getting all of the bolts found and the bolts sorted for it. So now we have all of our bolts sorted. But like discussed yesterday, we cut off the nubs from this tank seal. This is the old seal, okay? And I'm going to try and glue it down into position. In reality, it's not going to be coming off for a while. Who knows how long this one has been on here. This bike is going to sit inside the house as like a piece of art. I doubt I'll get driven much since getting a dog. Barely ride a motorbike because the dog goes everywhere in the car, and it's not super conducive to having a dog, having a bike. It's having a dog. So we just have a beautiful piece of art to look at. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and stick the new seal down, glue the new seal down. So we're going to do a little experiment and see which works out best. We have an old sheet of Perspex that I used to make windows for that BMW in the back a few weeks ago. We have a glue gun and we have some contact glue. And we're going to try two ways. We shall try the glue gun first, and then we'll try the contact adhesive, and we shall see what's going to be the best way to do it, okay? So let's cut a bit off of this, yeah. And we shall, the hot glue gun has been heating up. This is really hard to see, clear Perspex, clear table. But let's go on the edge of here. We'll go this way up, and we'll go on the edge so we don't wreck the whole piece of thing. Let's see what way's the best way. That's a little bit of glue. Nobody wants too much glue anyway, do we? So we'll hold this down. How long should we hold it down for? 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 7 minutes. I don't think that's really enough glue. But this is a first experiment. We shall see how it goes. Bit of arts and crafts. Yeah, the difficult bit is how are we going to clamp the seal down, because I have these, but because of the shape of it, even the groove isn't so big. So when we try and clamp these onto the tank, this wants to fold over like this, which isn't really the best way. Maybe we could get something bigger and sandwich it down, but I really think we're just going to have to do it the difficult way and hold it, because I don't think that there's enough time between putting that down and being able to get the tank on. The other option is we get something much more hardcore, like some Sikaflex, but it's so sticky and so black and so messy. I don't want to really start with the Sikaflex because it's a chance to make a real bloody mess of things. So the little light glue gun is a lot easier than big sticky Sikaflex mess. Okay, that seems to have stuck down there, right? So let's take another piece and try with the contact adhesive. Okay, this is really going to make more of a mess though, for sure. Yeah. Jesus, this is brand new. It's already pretty sticky. So, a little bit there, and then we'll put a little bit on there. This is going to be a mess. We're going to need a smaller brush, I would guess, definitely a smaller brush for when we're doing that on the tank, because that's going to be our dog's dinner. And then we'll sit and hold this here, and we'll try our two different experiments. Yeah, I'm guessing that this contact adhesive is on both sides. Normally it was both sides, not just one side. Oh, pay attention. Okay, as nobody wants to watch paint dry, let alone watch glue dry, we have this stuck down and this stuck down. So this is contact adhesives, this is from the glue gun. Now, the thing is that this is really only got to hold it in while you put the tank on, because once the tank is on, the clamping forces of the tank and the frame should be holding it together. This isn't making a seal or anything. So it's only really to hold it in position while it's there. But the question is, I always find glue gun glue is a bit sort of fragile. Not fragile, but it comes away a lot easier than other stuff. This contact adhesive is going to make a mess, right? No matter how careful I am, it's going to make a mess. But it's going to be more flexible, definitely on the flexible side of things. Whereas this glue gun is pretty solid. And I think going with the glue gun is going to be a lot more controllable than working with the Sikaflex, for example, and definitely a lot less of a mess compared to using the super tight, which I don't really think is tight, but this is the flexibleness of this is one thing. I think but it's not going to last. Any heat is going to totally smoke that also. Whereas if we're just putting a little dab of, contact adhesive onto there, let's have a look at here. I don't know if you can see there any difference, but that's really going to make a mess, guaranteed. But this is sturdy enough. That's not still super dried, but I think the working time with the glue gun is going to be much better than the possible mess from the contact adhesive. So what we're actually doing, as you can see, if you're looking at this video, you're probably wondering the same things, okay? Somebody previously has tried this with the old seal with Sikaflex. You can see there a few dots of Sikaflex all around. What we're going to do is we're going to try and clean this up first, this old Sikaflex out of here. And then I've got these clamps here. You can see what I was talking about, how that these clamps are not going to be, this is just going to be to hold that at the end, so as we can work this here while we glue this seal down. And we're just going to have to start there and just go little by little and hold it and get it set, and hold it and get it set, and just work our way around, because these knobs are, we can sort of locate them in, but they are a disaster. Like I snapped so many of them already. It's like, it was to give up, because I was going to drill bigger holes here and pull them through. Yeah, you can see where I marked to drill the bigger holes, but then why am I going to start drilling holes in this? It's like super clean and tidy, excuse the fingerprints. Okay, so we're going for it. Start at the corner and work our way down here. Minimal glue, we don't want a lot of glue. We want just enough glue to hold it, but not enough to be like raising it up. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. From the corner here, and we come down to here, all the way. We're going to hold this in position now and let it clamp and see how this works. Yeah. Riveting. Hot glue gunning. I hate glue. The worst of all drugs. It's like, oh, let's do some glue. No. There's better options out there. Okay, so the glue has not even touched that. The glue has hardened and the seal is like, what about ya? So that's not going to be it. Okay, so after our failed experiments with the glue, we have now conceded and we went to get some Sikaflex because it fucking sticks everything to everything, right? And it goes off pretty fast. In where I live in Mallorca, it's very marine, nautical industries around here, and people love Sikaflex. Like, just stick everything to everything with Sikaflex. Like, on cars, we're going to do another little test here first, right? Before we try it on there, because it is messy, right? It's super messy. But here in Mallorca, people love Sikaflex, right? And like, it's very much a marine industry kind of place. Marine painting, marine refurbishments. So, like, people use Sikaflex for everything. And then on cars, if you buy a car, an old car that's been here for a while, for sure, at some point in time, you are going to try and take like a headlight out or an indicator or a fog light, only to find out that the headlights or the indicators, whatever, has broken fixings, and the fixings have now been replaced with Sikaflex. Here we come. Okay, and you have a big giant dot of black Sikaflex holding in whatever I thought was your indicators, wheel arches, everything. Everything is like, oh, what are we going to do? We'll put some Sikaflex on it. It's on everything, and I hate it. It's black and sticky, and it makes a fucking mess. And it's like, just the constant surprise of, oh, this car looks nice. And then you dig it to bits, and it's like, oh no, it's every plastic fastener has been snapped off, and it's just held together with Sikaflex. This is the Mallorcan way, like 100%. Well, not Mallorcan way, the Mallorca way. So we try not to use it, but it's fucking lethal stuff. It does the job, but it can be messy, right? Take your time. I'm using a really small hole in the tip. You know, this is the size of the actual tip, yeah? You could put this in it. So that's how you would get fucking a total mess. So I went and bought this from the hardware store, and we just have a tiny little tip on it. And would you look at that? There's a reason people use it, eh? Jesus Christ, it's just too good, right? That's the shit, right? But slowly, 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 let's not make a total dog's breakfast out of it. But what can I say? That has done the trick. It's came off there, but like, you know what I mean? That is like, look, I'm getting my fingers already. Right, get to fuck. But it's another world. It's the stuff that'll do the trick. So let's reset up over there, lay down some Sikaflex and stick this down with it, and please, let's not make a mess. You're really not going to see anything good on here because it's black on black on black, but we'll lay it down, alright? It's me, I'm like Nakai-san, alright? RWB in my bike with some black Sikaflex. I think coming up the way is going to be better than going down the way. Yes, it is. See, I see why this is dangerous. I just popped the end out of this. Right. Right, let's, like I say, the key was not to make a mess, right? And basically, instantly, what we have done is made a mess, right? I knew it. It's like the gods of Sikaflex told me, John, if you get the Sikaflex out, you're going to make a mess. Okay? So let's not totally write this off. Alright. Let's get this first bit stuck in here. Alright. I knew it. Let's get her barrel out. At least it's consistent, you know. I knew it. It's consistent. I just have like the reverse Midas touch. I've got this touch of brown whenever I get the Sikaflex out. So we need a slightly bigger hole in that. I was trying to go super slowly and just put a tiny little bead down, but I wasn't enjoying it. So what we shall do is we shall put another end on and we shall make a slightly smaller hole, okay? A slightly larger hole because that one wasn't doing the trick, okay? This is the whole point of this. This is like not me being an expert. This is the point in me trial and error fucking up, right? Pretty good at that. Trial and error and fucking up, both my specialities. Give it a go. I'll give it a go. Give it a go. Alright. But that seems to be working alright. It's better than the glue. We'll just wait for this a little bit longer. It's actually not made too much of a mess. It's not spilled it all over the place. We're going to get a nice. That's going to do all right. That is. Tell you what, it's a good job I bought 2 tips. I got an extra tip around here. Let me give you a tip. Always double up. Always double up when you go to the shops, right? Just buy one, no, buy 2, right? Because it's better than going back to the shops again, innit? Okay. Right. So we've made slightly bigger hole. Look, see, here we go. Here we go, making a mess, making a mess, making a mess. Let's scooch some of that out of there, into here. Always making a mess. Right, so we've got a new tip on there. And what we're going to do, we're going to unplug that out of the way. Right, here, what we're going to do here is we're going to run a bead. Right, nice. Nice. Okay, so we put a fresh bead into here, and we're going to get that in there, get it right into the corner, and push that down and in. And let's see how this goes. Take two. Right. I tell you what, it actually looks pretty professional, like I'm not going to lie. It looks like I almost knew what I was doing. So this is a nice little experiment, and this is, I suppose this is going to give us a good, pretty solid seal around the tank. That looks pretty nice. So we're going to go here. We're going to have to hold it there. I want to get round to there. Okay. You know what? That's not terrible. That isn't the worst job I've done today. So, we've got the first side stuck down pretty good, 3/4 of the way round. The seal was a little bit long, so we've trimmed a little bit off of the male and the female end of both ends of the seal, shortened it up. Now we have it, looks pretty bang on. We're going to do the first 2/3 of the other side of the second seal, stick that down, and then move over to the lower bit. Okay, and we're going to try and not make a mess. Don't make a mess, don't make a mess. Bit of pressure. You see, flex. You don't want too much. So you don't want to make a mess. Okay. That's a pretty nice squidging. You in there, and that all the way down to there. Hold this in place. Now the first half is what came in really, is because it's got a nice groove. There's a lot less of a groove on the lower half, but we can get it nicely in the groove on the first half, and then we're pretty nice to try not bodge the second half on. And because of doing all of this stuff, I am really not going to be taking this tank on and off as I am doing this. This tank is going on and staying on, hopefully. But this has come out pretty nice. I had to go to Palma to get my screws. I had to go and get some fasteners for this. The fasteners that are on it are all pretty corroded. This bike came from the UK originally, so there's a lot of corrosion on the fasteners. So I ordered a kit for the fairing and stuff, but it was just for some small ones, for the splash guard, for the air intakes, some of the smaller ones. I cleaned these ones up. These cleaned up okay. But I went to get some stainless fasteners. You've got to have a good fastener shop in your life. Like, Not a hardware store, not a ferreteria. Somebody that just does fasteners, you know. You go in, you ask the man, can I get this, 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 and this? And he disappears and he comes back with it in 2 seconds. Like, not this digging through. Is this the one? Is this the one? Do they have any stainless steel? Like, a good fastener shop is the way forward. That is a good thing about here, about all of the marine industry. If, like, the stainless steel fasteners are just a short drive away. Short drive away is like half an hour each way, but it's worth it. It's cost like 15 quid in petrol. It was like 380s worth of fasteners, but it's so much better. I was on a Ducati like microfiche page looking at the fasteners, right? And the prices of them are ridiculous to begin with. And then I put in like the shipping, and the shipping was 13 euros. And then the shipping was 6 euros. And then it was like another 13 euros for a difficult location to deliver. It's like, what? It's coming from France. What's the difficult location to deliver? So instead of just buying the bolts with Ducati part numbers from somewhere online, I have just went to the fastener shop and spent €3 instead. It's just nice to get out as well. I'm terrible for not wanting to leave the workshop or going anywhere. That is like probably my main problem in life, is that I'm just too happy to sit in the workshop. I hate going out anywhere. People, especially in Mallorca in the summer, are like, oh, you're going on your summer holidays. No, winter. I'm all about the winter, you know. Peace, quiet, tranquility, get the beach to yourself, mountains to yourself. Summer's not where it's at, winter is where it's at. You know, and there's fucking nobody here. Yeah. So I have been out today, and it was a nice day. And like I said, I took the dog with me. The dog likes to run out in the car. Also, what's not to like? Okay, I'm going to squeeze this back into here, and then don't worry about this any overlap. We'll try and trim that out with a razor blade. We'll trim that out with a razor blade as we're coming on, but we're getting this nice stick. Okay, now we just sit here and hold this down, but that is coming out better than I thought. That bit there's a little bit high, but again, with the tank that's on it, it's going to press it in. This is just to hold the tank in. This looks like a little bit of a dog's breakfast there, but we shall cut that over, spill out. Oh, let's get this sitting up straight. Okay, this is looking good. I like it. So yeah, it's 2 minutes. It's like, you know, not that I have a garage here that is open to the public or anything. You know, this isn't a garage. This is my garage where I keep my stuff and I do my things. But you know, it's not that I understand why garages do like a bad job and stuff, but this is work, do you know what I mean? Just trying to do something, things take time. My girlfriend doesn't understand this. And she's, the first time I met her, I was like, to help her do some things in her car. She thinks it just takes like 5 minutes. Take the seats out and put your seats in. Yeah, it takes just 2 minutes. That's not fair to say that to her though, because she understands. She loves working and she likes working on the cars as well now. But, you know, people think it's easy, but it's better just to take your time. So I don't let anybody touch anything. Don't let anybody. I've just, my new way of doing things is nobody touches anything. I had a friend of mine, James, many years ago, and he stopped ever letting anybody touch his stuff and just learned how to do it all himself on his motorbikes and his cars and things. And it really is like, didn't have a nice garage like this. He's just doing it in his driveway outside his house. But it's like, it pays dividends, because like just even here, the black self-tapping screw and everything, like the Audi there the other day, I was taking the bumpers off it, and it's like, how many black self-tapping screws can you put into a bumper? You know, it's like, I'm okay for that, you know. And then that's like when you're doing it yourself, you take your time, go down to the fastener shop, buy some nice stainless bits. Oh, get a nice button head, Allen, you know, something nice and flush with a big wide head, something that'll do nice. Put a nice hole in it, you know, drill and tap it. You know, not just like, oh, we'll just hammer in some self-tappers, some torque, some tech screws, you know. No. We're not building, you know, drift cars here, you know. We're like just taking our time with our own stuff and making it nice. Like that's a little bit high there, but I don't see how I don't see how ever that seal would ever sit low there with those rubber things on it, right? So oh, we got a nice job, proper job. I think that's going to turn out pretty nice. Let's turn this around. Let's have a little look. So we can see that it's slightly high there, but like I say, that's not going to stick down at all. I really don't, I'm terrible with this camera, right? But, you know, this stuff here that's on the tape, we could cut that off, that little bit there also. But for like my usual, I'll take that. I will take that. That looks pretty nice to me. We be winning. We be winning. One day we'll talk about these, and this will be done sooner than this. But first and foremost, well, not first and foremost, obviously we're doing the Ducati. We're only doing the Ducati because we're waiting for bits for this, and as soon as this is down and out of the way, probably getting sold. There's too many cars. Probably sell this, not going to sell the wheels. Nice wheels, keep the wheels. Sell the car, sell the Land Rover, sell the Audi. Too many cars. And then once you've got a nice lift back, you could do this and get onto this. This is a nice little Triumph Bonneville here that I built many years ago. It's similar colour to this, but we'll get that back together. We shall get that back together also. For we're looking for something to do. Back to the office.